All right, for those of you who struggle with hitting the ball super thin, and almost, let's even go to the extreme of saying top the ball quite often, again, it's kind of like a fat shot. They both kind of go hand in hand because you're pretty much having to hit the ball with your hands and your arms. So when your pressure gets back, so again, your center of mass, like my sternum and my pelvis, when that shifts a whole lot to my trail side, and then I turn, I'm stuck on my back foot. So when you're stuck on your back foot, you're going to push towards the target a lot and then tilt, right? So when that happens, the club has to get out. And if you're a pretty good athlete and you hit the ball decent doing that, that shows me you're squaring the club up and your contact up more with your hands and your arms rather than your body being in a really, really good position to where you kind of release the club more naturally. So again, when it comes to a thin shot, we get our mass working too far to our trail side with no rotation. And then from there, what you guys are trying to do to hit the ball is, you kind of move laterally quite a bit, and then you have to tilt a lot, and then you're pretty much squaring the face up with your hands and your arms, and you're popping up with your chest. So you're almost trying to add loft when there's no need to. So pressure, we're thinking about pressure, it goes more towards your back foot. So you load way off to your back foot, and then you stay on your back foot and push. So a lot of you guys that finish what feels back here and lift your chest super up into the sky, well, that's a big reason why you hit the ball super fat and super thin. So what I want us to focus on here is, let's just use this ball for an example. Put that right in the middle of your sternum and your pelvis. And I want you to feel like when you open and rotate back, not only is your chest staying on top of your pelvis more, but we're not going to shift our mass to the right. We're actually going to stay in line with this ball. So think about your spine for an example. We're trying to rotate around that ball better. Yes, for better players, you're going to move a little bit off of it, but since you guys struggle with that, we're trying to stay on that ball. From here, I want you to feel like, I'm not saying shift your mass left. I don't want you to shift your whole body left. I want you to just feel pressure get back into the lead ball of your foot. So again, it's going to work more diagonally out to the right slightly. So when you guys, quote unquote, I call it the landing phase, unloading phase, you're almost landing back into the ball of your foot. And again, you can see my chest is on top of my pelvis. And then from here, instead of just pushing back, so sometimes when we push so far forward, that actually pushes us back. We're trying to feel like instead of that, we're just going to start to open and push our weight from our toe to our heel. So the best way to think about this is when we go to the top of our swing, instead of pushing towards the target and back and tilting, I want you guys to think about opening slightly. And then once you get on top of the ball with your chest, now from here you can push up and through it almost towards the target is going to kind of be your concept. And again, I would do some Tommy Fleetwood shots when you're doing this. Tommy Fleetwood shots being arms connected with our chest. We're feeling chest to chest swings. So I'm really feeling the pressure when I just swing it with my chest. So really all we're doing here is rotating open with our chest in the backswing and then rotating open with our chest in the downswing transition phase. And again, I'm just focusing on my pressure, making sure, I would say for you guys, you're trying to feel like your pressure stays in the lead ball of your foot throughout your whole golf swing. So you're not shifting your pressure to the right a whole lot. I want you to keep it left. From there, you're just going to rotate your chest open, and then from there, you'll be able to find the low point of your golf swing and probably have a whole lot better contact because you're controlling your low point where you enter the club into the ground with the ball with your body, because your body sequence is now in order rather than crazy, way out of order. So I would focus on keeping your weight left. From there, opening your chest through the ball with the club. So they're going to work kind of hand in hand.
A tennis ball drill. This is great for controlling our center of mass. Obviously, we talked about in the video here, our center of mass being our sternum in the middle of our pelvis. So your trail foot is going to press into this tennis ball. And again, I've cut this tennis ball in half. You guys could also get pressure balls, kind of like a pressure plate sensation to control this, to feel this. Kind of a great drill to kind of really just control your center of mass. So you're going to press on the inside of your trail foot, stomp on the ball, and then press on the inside of the lead ball of your lead foot as well. So you can see how we've kind of set that up here. Our right foot stepping into the ball, the tennis ball, and that pressure is going to be right on the ball of our trail foot, and then the pressure is also going to be right on the ball of our lead foot as well. So now we're going to go all the way to the end here where we're practicing this drill, and we're going to walk through kind of how to, master this drill to master our center of mass. So our center of mass is our sternum and our pelvis. So that's kind of our concept here. And then I'm also going to draw a line behind our trail foot, because we're going to kind of use this line to feel like we push away from. So if this red line behind our trail foot is kind of our, kind of our braking system in some ways, we're almost going to feel like we push away from this red line. So if we're pushing away from it, that's going to move us back to our lead foot, right? So I don't want us to overdo this. We're just feeling pressure, right? Our mass isn't going to shift and tilt a whole ton. We're just feeling like we press into our trail foot here. And while that happens, if we go to about P2, you can see our chest is still on top of our pelvis. From here, we're going to start to rotate our upper body around this pressure, is going to be kind of our concept. So we're pushing to feel pressure. And I want you guys to know, when we're here in our golf swing, P2 to P3, yes, I'm starting to load up my trail leg, but I still feel probably 45% of my pressure left, which is, again, using the tennis ball to feel like it's almost like the towel drill in some ways. Like, we're feeling pressure work this way, like how these arrows are working, and it feels like we're almost ripping, I would say, the middle of our center of mass together. Like, we're ripping that apart. So yes, you have to feel some amount of pressure on the inside of your trail and on the inside of your lead foot, which is important. So again, we're pushing away from this red line while we open our chest around our pressure, is kind of our idea. And then you're going to see from here our transition phase. When we start to open, our first move is going to feel like I land left. So I have now gone to the top, and I have now, you're going to see me land left with pressure into the lead ball of our foot. Boom, we're landing and opening. So now you can see our chest is still on top of our pelvis. We have landed in the ball of our lead foot, and from here, we're going to feel like we start to open our rib cage on top of our pelvis. So our rib cage, what I mean by this is our shoulders are going to be more level. For the better players, it is going to look more down with the left shoulder slightly, but for most golfers, we're trying to get back to neutral level for the most part. Now from here, we're going to start to work and rotate around our lead leg, and then when that happens, we'll be able to push up with pressure and push it back towards our heel. So it's going to work on these arrows. So we're really pushing that back, and then our lead side is really going to work up and through it. Now again, like, the important part about this is keeping our pressure what feels centered. So if we're ripping these tennis balls apart and we're feeling pressure in both feet, then we're going to be ripping the center of mass apart, which is actually going to keep us more centered. So that's kind of our concept here.